You did not choose this moment. This moment chose you. Something higher, something ancient and divine, orchestrated every breath and step that brought you here. You may believe it was chance, but I tell you there is no such thing in the realm of spirit. When the heavens move, it's never random. The sacred realm is speaking, and it's calling you. This isn't a mere message, it's a spiritual summons. Archangel Michael, urgent message, your person can't stop thinking about you, is not a phrase. It is a divine key. A code encrypted into your timeline, destined to find you now. The words are alive. They pulse with power, and they come not to entertain but to reveal. You were guided here because heaven saw what you couldn't see, and heard what was whispered behind closed doors. The timing of this message is not late, is not early, is exact. Your path was not interrupted for nothing. There had been a detour, yes, but not one without purpose. You've been sensing it, haven't you? The uneasy stillness, the lingering thoughts, the emotional echoes that won't leave. Heaven saw this, saw them, and stepped in. This message is an intervention, a shield, and a spotlight, all in one. You were protected. You were routed. You were chosen for revelation. I'm Archangel Michael, commander of divine justice, bearer of truth, and destroyer of deception. I do not speak lightly, and I do not speak often. But today I have been sent. Accompanying me are the elders of your lineage, the angels who walk your path unseen, and the light of your higher self. Together, we have wrapped around you, delivering signs, whispers, and shadows to lead you here. You are not abandoned. You are not mistaken. You are awakened. The energies are shifting quickly. Illusions are burning. What was once hidden is now collapsing under divine exposure. Their thoughts, yes, your person's thoughts have created a frequency so loud, it echoed in spirit. And that echo has reached heaven. You may have felt it, the chills, the dreams, the urge to look at your phone. They weren't just sign. They were summons. And now, your spirit is responding. You must stay until the end. You must hear why this moment has unfolded precisely now. Because what is about to be spoken will answer questions your soul has been crying out in silence. It is no longer time to wonder. It is time to know. Heaven is opening a sealed scroll and your name is written inside. You're not imagining this. You're not losing your mind. And no, this isn't just a passing thought or emotional echo. What you've been sensing, what you've been feeling, it's real. It's spiritual. And it's loud in the realm of angels. I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to confirm what your soul already knew, but your mind was afraid to believe. Your person cannot stop thinking about you, and heaven is now intervening. You have been living under the weight of invisible energy. You've been absorbing whispers not spoken aloud, but projected spiritually. You felt their pull in the silence. You've woken in the night, with their name pressing against your spirit. And while others would tell you it's coincidence, I am here to tell you this. It is not. This is not a trick of the heart or an illusion of the mind. It is a transmission, and it's growing stronger. There is a prophetic window opening, child of light. A divine countdown has already begun. Your connection with this person is not ordinary. It's not shallow. It runs deep through timelines, soul contracts, and unfinished vows. You've wondered if they feel it too. You've questioned if it was all in vain. But I come bearing sacred truth. They are thinking about you. Constantly. Obsessively. Spiritually. They feel the bond they once denied. And that bond has now awakened something irreversible. You are being spiritually intercepted because interference was attempting to distort the soul message. Darker frequencies, envy, confusion, emotional manipulation tried to bury this truth beneath doubt. But truth cannot stay buried when the angels move. This message is your divine interruption. This moment is not random, it is prophetic. You were not scrolling by chance. You were summoned. When heaven moves, it moves with precision. And your guides, your ancestors, your protectors, they've been working overtime to get you here. They have whispered through your dreams, stirred your spirit in quiet moments, and sent feathers and numbers to surround your path. Light. Because the divine cannot allow you to misinterpret what's happening any longer. They think about you. They yearn for you. But there's more behind it, and I'm here to reveal it all. This is your divine intersection. And I need you to stay present. I need you to open your spiritual ears and hear beyond the words. Because what's coming next is the unveiling of a spiritual sabotage. You deserve to know the truth, not just that they're thinking of you, but why and what has been trying to keep them from reaching you. To complete this divine alignment, type this number as a blessing anchor in the comments or journal it privately. 777. A sign that angelic protection surrounds your thoughts and connections now. There is a reason the connection stalled. There is a reason you felt pulled toward them and then pushed away in cycles of confusion and silence. It wasn't all in your mind. Something, or someone, has been standing in the shadows of this connection, weaving energetic disruption, cloaked in false light, pretending to help but secretly draining both your clarity and theirs. And now, that interference can no longer hide. You thought it was just miscommunication. You thought maybe they were emotionally unavailable, were not ready, were just lost. And while all of that may seem true on the surface, I am here to reveal what the physical eye cannot see. This was not just confusion. This was calculated distraction. Spiritual interference was planted, not to test you, but to delay you, confuse you, and exhaust you into giving up on something sacred. The sabotage wasn't random. It was strategic. At some point, your person began to open their spirit to the bond. Your thoughts became louder. Your longing intensified. And that is when the interference strengthened. Perhaps it came through a third party. Someone who seemed like a friend. Someone who smiled while secretly stirring doubt. Or perhaps it was a former lover still tethered to their energy, draining them in silence, feeding off the emotional cords they hadn't yet severed. Whoever it was, they weren't just there. They were sent. This foresaw the connection as a threat. It feared the light you and your person would create together. And so it whispered lies into their mind, stirred old wounds in their heart, and wrapped illusion around their truth. They were made to question you, to resist you, to fear the very thing they prayed for. This was not by accident. It was a spiritual interference disguised as caution, dressed up as logic, but pulsing with manipulation. And you, the sensitive soul that you are, felt this long before it was confirmed. You sensed something was off. You questioned the shift. You felt the coldness in their energy, the delay in their words, the inconsistency in their gaze. And you blamed yourself. But hear me now. It was never your fault. You were discerning what your spirit already knew but couldn't yet name. Now the betrayal rises. Now the veil is lifting. Some of you will discover this interference soon, perhaps through a misplaced message, an accidental confession, or a dream that refuses to fade. And when it does come, do not mourn. Do not rage. Know this. Heaven allowed it to be exposed because you are now strong enough to stand in your knowing. His betrayal was your liberation. His confusion was your classroom. What was meant to delay you only made you wiser. What was meant to block you only sharpened your discernment. And what was meant to bury the bond has only confirmed its depth. Because if it weren't real, there would be no need to fight it. The battle proves the blessing. Type or write 999 as a decree of divine closure, the number of endings that open sacred new beginnings. The interference ends now. You weren't wrong. The universe has been speaking. Spirit has been echoing. And the signs you've seen, the patterns, the symbols, the chills, the flickering lights, the dreams you couldn't explain, they were all messages sent in divine sequence. You've been hearing the whispers of heaven. You've been decoding signals that most people would overlook, because you were being prepared for the truth. And now, the truth is unfolding in front of you. You saw the numbers. Over 111, when you questioned if they were thinking of you. 333, when you felt their presence in your energy. 555, when everything in your world seemed to shift in an instant. These were not glitches in reality. They were confirmations from the divine. Synchronicities aren't cute. They are coded. And those codes were heaven's way of saying, keep going. You're on the right frequency. Your dreams haven't been ordinary either. You've seen snakes, symbols of hidden deception. You've seen fire, representing the purging of lies and the awakening of power. You've dreamed of doors, some locked, some swinging open, symbolizing divine timing and access being granted. You felt water, rushing, flooding, cleansing, signs that your emotional body is being prepared for something deeper. These were not random images. These were downloads from the higher realm. Your body has felt it too. You've been waking at strange hours, 3:33 a.m., 4:44 a.m., times when the veil is thinnest and your angels are closest. You felt heat in your hands, a burning between your shoulders, a sudden heaviness in your chest, because their thoughts reach you. Their longing vibrates into your field, and your spirit, finely tuned, absorbs it before your mind understands it. Even nature has joined the chorus. Birds that stare at your window, butterflies that land near your path, cats that refuse to leave your side, feathers in the most unusual places, rain falling as you think of them, a hawk circling above you in stillness. These are not coincidences. These are cosmic alerts. Every creature and current carries a message when heaven wants your attention. And heaven had been shouting. You wondered if you were crazy. You wondered if you were reading too much into it. But hear me clearly now. That wasn't coincidence. That was confirmation. Every flicker, every number, every animal, every pulse. It was divine. You were not alone in your discernment. The signs were the angel's way of saying, we are with you. You are not making this up. And yes, they are thinking of you. Do not brush these moments away. They are your compass. They are your spiritual receipts. When doubt rises again, return to them. The messages won't stop. In fact, they will increase. Because now you've seen the pattern. Now you know how to listen. Now you understand the divine language. And that makes you unstoppable. If this message aligns with the signs you've seen, type or write 333, the number of divine alignment, angelic support, and soul-level clarity. Your confirmations are not done. They are just beginning. It is already happening. Even as these words reach you, the process has begun. The unmasking, the revealing, the exposure of what was once hidden behind charm, delay, or silence. This is not a forecast. It is a present tense movement of divine justice. The lies that wrap themselves around your story like vines are snapping. The illusions are breaking. And what you have waited to see, sense, or understand is coming to light. You must understand, truth doesn't always arrive with noise. It often slips in quietly, like light under a locked door. It might appear through a slip of the tongue, a dream that stings with clarity, or a sudden confession that seems out of character. Don't dismiss it. Don't explain it away. When the mask falls, and it will, you will feel it in your chest before you hear it with your ears. Your spirit will know. You won't need to force it. You won't need to chase it. Divine justice moves without your interference. Your only job now is to stay aligned. Stay clear. Stay in your seat of knowing. The person you've been thinking about. The one who can't stop thinking of you. They are being unraveled in their own illusions. The pressure of their thoughts, the presence of their guilt, the weight of their longing. It is all coming to a head. They can't escape it anymore. Heaven is already moving. Heaven has already initiated the order. And what once seemed like silence is now being filled with divine consequence. Don't misread the stillness. Don't misjudge the quiet. Behind the scenes, their world is shifting. Their lies, even the ones they told themselves, are becoming unbearable. The very things they used to run from the connection are now the reasons they are breaking down inside. They will see what they did not see before. They will feel what they tried to numb. And in their unraveling, your truth will be undeniable. For some, it may be dramatic, an unexpected call, a sudden message, a breakdown in their routine. For others, it may be subtle, an energy shift, a name spoken at the right moment, a dream that haunts until action is taken. Either way, the exposure is coming. But do not be tempted to act out of haste. You are not here to chase what heaven is bringing to you. You are not here to fix what divine justice is already correcting. Let them sit in their unveiling. Let the light do its work. Your stillness is your power. Your silence is sacred. You are not being passive. You are standing in divine alignment. The mask is falling. The illusion is ending. The energy that blocked them from reaching you is being dissolved by truth. And when it happens, when the unmasking is complete, you will no longer doubt your discernment. You will no longer question your worth. You will know. And that knowing will set you free. If you're ready to receive what has been hidden, write or type 444, the number of angelic protection, clarity, and divine order. Heaven's light is already shining on what was concealed. Let us now speak of what was lost, or rather, what seemed lost. Because I see the weight you've carried. I see the silent battles you've endured behind your strength. And I know, even if you haven't spoken it aloud, that there were moments you questioned everything. Moments you wondered if you imagined the connection, if you gave too much, waited too long, or believed too deeply. And above all, I see the aching spaces in your heart where you felt something was taken from you. Yes, there was a delay. Yes, there was a theft of time, of clarity, of emotional peace. There were nights you couldn't sleep, days you carried the weight of words unsaid, and weeks, maybe months, where your spirit felt stalled in confusion. You were caught in a loop, thinking of them, feeling their energy, wondering if it was mutual. And all while others around you moved on, you were tethered to something unseen. But listen now, what looked like a delay was a divine redirection. The sabotage wasn't just to hurt you. It was meant to delay your rising, to keep you caught in a spiritual fog where you would doubt yourself enough to shrink. But you didn't shrink. You expanded. You didn't fold, you grew. And the energy that tried to steal your peace has now triggered your power. You are not the same person who waited in confusion. You are becoming the version of yourself that no longer asks for permission to be seen. They were meant to return sooner. The connection was meant to evolve faster. But divine timing does not operate on human desire. The heavens knew that their soul was not yet ready. And you were not meant to enter the next chapter still attached to their confusion. You needed to be clear. You needed to be cleansed. The time it took was not punishment, it was purification. And yes, the longing felt cruel at times. The silence, deafening. The promises delayed. You may have watched others receive their answers while yours remained unspoken. But I tell you now, child of heaven, nothing that is divine can ever be truly lost. What belongs to you by soul contract cannot be stolen. It can only be preserved. What looked like a detour was heaven pulling you into alignment with your true self before the connection could truly manifest. So what was taken? Time. Trust. A version of you that believed love had to hurt in order to be real. And what will be restored? Peace. How? Clarity. Wholeness. You are not being returned to the past. You are being initiated into a future where your heart no longer chases what was never meant to run. And in that future, you no longer wait. You receive. Let go of the illusion of loss. Let go of the grief that whispers, it could have been different. Because what's coming is not just a restoration. It is a divine upgrade. It carries no manipulation, no hiding, no double messages. It brings clean truth, healed intentions, and timing aligned with heaven. To shift your energy from delay to divine expectancy, type or write 888. The number of spiritual abundance, karmic restoration, and infinite return. What was withheld is being released now. And now, the moment the energy changes. Can you feel it? It may not roar like thunder, but it stirs within you like a sacred tremble. Something within your spirit is loosening, opening, rising. This is not imagination. This is the energetic breakthrough. The spell of confusion is breaking. The fog that clouded your clarity is lifting. And what you feel now, even if faint, is the sensation of your spirit remembering its power. You may have already felt it in a sudden moment of peace you couldn't explain. In the tears that came without warning, not from sadness but from release. Your breath deeper. Your heart lighter. These are not mood shifts. These are spiritual signals. You are crossing out of the holding pattern and into alignment. You are no longer chasing answers, because you are becoming the answer. And in this moment, heaven is mirroring back to you that the shift is here. For some, this shift began quietly. A thought that no longer hurt. A memory that lost its grip. The urge to reach out that suddenly dissolved. The fear that turned into curiosity. The restlessness that melted into stillness. You did not force these changes, they flowed into you. That is how divine healing moves, not with a scream, but with a whisper that rewrites everything. This shift will not be loud. It will be sacred. And as you shift, so do they. Their silence becomes heavier. Their distractions lose flavor. Your thoughts louder. You do not need to confirm it, you will feel it. The obsessive pull is returning to them. The energetic cord you once carried alone is now vibrating on both ends. The breakthrough is coming, not because you called, but because you released. In letting go, you created space. And in this space, heaven now works. Some energies will go silent. Some people will suddenly fall away. Do not chase the silence. Do not grieve the absence. This is the spiritual shedding before the rising. Some attachments were never meant to follow you into your next level. Let them dissolve. Let them drift. You do not need to explain your elevation to energies that can't comprehend your glow. You may begin to feel more sensitive, more intuitive, more peaceful, as if you've returned to yourself. That is not a phase. That is a signal. You are stepping out of survival and into surrender. You are no longer in energetic warfare. You are walking in energetic sovereignty. And from this place, what is truly meant for you can finally arrive, without distortion, delay, or disguise. The breakthrough is not about them. It is about you. Their thoughts may reach for you, but it is your stillness that protects your peace. Their longing may grow, but it is your discernment that sets the terms. You have shifted from seeker to receiver, from wounded to wise, from waiting to ready. And now the divine timing begins to unlock. Anchor this breakthrough with the number 000, the sacred reset, divine portal, and proof that you stepped into new energy. A full circle moment is being born in your favor. As your light rises, as your peace solidifies, there will come one final test. It may look familiar. It may sound like hope. It may feel like everything you once prayed for is suddenly returning. But I, Archangel Michael, must now prepare you, not to fear this test, but to recognize it for what it truly is, the final temptation before liberation. This moment is not punishment. It is the divine's way of asking you one last question. Are you ready to never settle again? They will return. In many cases, yes, your person will return. But not as they were. They will return conflicted, carrying remorse, echoing the same words with different tone. For some, it will come through a gentle message. For others, a call, a coincidence, a visit. It will feel divinely timed, and it will be. But not all divine timing is meant to be a reunion. Sometimes, it is meant to be a revelation. You may hear apologies. You may hear things you waited months, maybe even years, to hear. But do not mistake their words for transformation. Let action speak. Let time prove. Let silence test them. You are not being cruel. You are being wise. Because heaven is watching. Not just how they return, but how you respond. You are not the wounded soul waiting to be chosen. You are the risen soul walking in truth. And truth doesn't negotiate with nostalgia. This is your final test. It may not come with warning. It may arrive on a day when your heart feels soft and your mind feels open. But do not confuse spiritual memory for present readiness. Ask yourself, are they here to pour into your life? Or are they here because their world is falling apart? Are they looking for connection or for comfort? Are they ready to build or simply afraid to be alone? These questions will save you. They may say all the right things, but your body will feel it. If the energy feels tight, rushed, or unclear, step back. Your discernment is sharper now. Use it. This is not the time to test if they've changed. This is the time to test if you've changed. You are no longer the version of yourself that needs validation through reattachment. You are the version that knows peace is not negotiable. And if you sense even a flicker of manipulation, even in sweetness, even in kindness, listen. Your offer may be cloaked in charm, but charm can carry poison. The past may try to dress up in new clothing, but the energy never lies. Trust your growth. Trust your clarity. And most of all, trust that you are no longer who they left. Remember, silence is still power. Distance is still discernment. And when they return, not if, but when, you have every right to decide whether your future includes them. You are not cold for being cautious. You are wise for remembering what it cost you to heal. If you're ready to pass the final test and rise into your full liberation, type or write 1212, the number of spiritual awakening, sacred partnership, and divine alignment. You are walking through the final door. And now we seal the truth. Now we close the loop and stand in the light of divine finality. You have heard the signs. You have felt the resonance. You have walked through confusion, betrayal, awakening, and breakthrough. And you did not come this far for a partial healing. You are standing at the edge of your restoration, and I, Archangel Michael, declare over you now, the cycle is broken. The interference is removed. The veil is lifted, and your soul is free. Your person's thoughts may still echo. They may even intensify. But now, you will know how to read them. You will no longer question your worth because of someone else's silence. You will no longer chase shadows when your soul was meant for light. This journey was never about whether they would come back. This journey was about whether you would return to yourself. So stand tall, child of the Most High. Heaven is watching. Heaven is rejoicing. What was hidden is revealed. What was delayed is now released. And what was lost is no longer needed, because what is meant for you is not behind you. It is ahead. You do not need to beg for answers anymore. You are the answer. You do not need to ask if they feel it. They do. But the real question now is, do you choose your peace over their potential? Let these declarations echo through your atmosphere. I am aligned with heaven's order. I release all false attachments. I reclaim my clarity and power. I no longer fear the silence. I trust the divine to restore what is mine. Heaven is not behind you. Heaven is in you. And as you walk forward from this message, you carry the full force of angelic protection, ancestral wisdom, and divine clarity. You are not who you were when you started watching. You are renewed. You are awakened. And you are chosen. If you receive this revelation, type 111, 333, or 555 in the comments as your seal of agreement. Let the heavens see your faith. Let your spirit make it known. I am ready, and I walk boldly, for what is coming next will not require your chasing, only your readiness. The shift is done. The door is open, and the light is leading you home.